incredibly convincing. I'm Steve. Do you know what this is?
Not many believe Epstein is dead. In fact, they believe he somehow made it out of the US and is living his best life. Sounds comic, but it's believed that he had too much dirt in public figures to be just put away. Some members of my team, which may or may not include me, would have laughed at the idea years ago, but looking at the clip, well, doesn't the individual look like Epstein? See his behavior when he noticed he's being filmed. Now, in a normal world, most people would scold people for filming them, but he chooses to hide instead, maybe because he really does have something to hide. His own identity. And not everyone is buying it, though. This user, for instance, asks why he'd be driving a convertible knowing people are looking for him. And when you think about it like that, he's got a point, a good point, but, well, what do you say? Next, we head to Newport Beach, California, where a user called MKD captured what you're watching just this March. Now, I've looked at the clip over and over and over again, trying to decipher what it is. It doesn't look like your usual UFO clip, no. No, it doesn't look like a UFO at all. At first glance, it looks like an unusual light show, but the more you look at it, the more you realize it might be something else. Some members of my team think this might be an angel. They claim they see wings and whatnot. Others in the comments section of the original post agree as well. Well, you've seen the clip, so what do you think? While you try to make sense of that, let's visit San Antonio, Texas, where this clip was also captured. Unlike the previous one, this one is very obvious. It starts off with looks like an extraterrestrial aircraft, and then follows up with more clips of what looks like a major military mobilization. We see what looks like helicopters among other military vehicles headed for what might be some sort of operation. The big question is, what and why? Something the government may be fighting a threat they're not disclosing, while a few others think we're seeing things that are non-existent. According to them, San Antonio is the military city of the USA. This shouldn't surprise us or be counted as abnormal. You've seen it, so what do you think? According to this man, no one drew Bugs Bunny. They just found it lying in the studio with the name on it. They go ahead with the project anyway, and one day the original voice actor for Bugs Bunny, Mel Blanc, was involved in an accident. They try everything to bring him out of a coma, but nothing works. His doctor casually says one day,
"Hi, Bugs."
And this man in a coma responds in the Bugs Bunny voice, saying,
And the voice of Bugs Bunny comes out of a comatose human being and says, "What's up, Doc?"
This to him is not normal. This, according to him, is proof that Bugs Bunny was not created, and there was something more to the character. When I heard this, I was about to laugh it off till I visited the comments section. There are actually people who believe this is truth and also believe there's a mysterious air around the Looney Tunes characters. Look at these comments. What do you guys think of the whole thing?
Listen to me. One day, a doctor tending to him says, "Hi, Bugs." And the voice of Bugs Bunny comes out of a comatose human being and says, "What's up, Doc?"
The system wasn't built for you to win. You went to school to memorize facts you never use. You were trained to raise your hand, wait your turn, and follow instructions. Then they told you, get a job, work 40 hours a week, give half of it to tax, retire at 67 if you're lucky. That's not a life. That's a script. And most people don't question it because they're too tired from living it. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's when you realize freedom was never going to be handed to you.
Yeah, freedom's never going to be handed to you, but the trouble is that mass complacency on a grand scale is why the people in charge who make these systems get away with what they do. We actually have more power than you think.
That's not a life. That's a script. And most people don't question it because they're too tired from living it. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's when you realize freedom was never going to be handed to you.
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, there are insects that look like leaves, there are insects that look like sticks, but I'm not sure whether they look this much.
So here we have a man setting up what looks like a scorpion with a camera on its back. It enters what might be best described as a burrow and shows us a whole new world hiding in our soil. It looks interesting, but it's definitely not real. This has all the AI bells and whistles going off. It's scary how good AI is becoming, just scary. Anyway, what do you think? I've always stated here that I'm no fan of night shifts, and this clip is one of the reasons. The man who recorded the clip you're watching was at work one day when he heard a child crying, knowing what time it was and also acknowledging the fact that it would be weird to hear the child cry at that time. He went out to look for and help the child, and once he got to the source of the sound, he saw a being or creature there, but it was not a child. Panicked, performed what we call a tactical retreat, aka he ran for his dear life. Once he was far enough with pants that may or may not have been wet and soiled, he started explaining the situation on video. Now, I've watched the clip over and over and over, and I'm not ashamed to admit that if I were in his shoes, I might not have made it as far as he did. My team thinks you might have encountered a Skinwalker. Now, honey, you've seen the clip, so what do you think?
Ay, Dios, Dios, Dios. ¿Qué es esto? Ay. Ay, Dios. Dios. Ay, ay Dios. Chopi, vete. Chopis, vete, güey. Vete.
Now, I've got this scar on my body. And I'm telling you now, this has got nothing to do with being aliens or anything. Back in the 60s and 70s, we had what was known as inoculations. And these were little, almost scratches rather than injections when we were kids that made these little round marks like this. So you can look at this all you want, but these are inoculation marks. Yeah, inoculation. That's all this is, not alien.
And just like that, we're back to Jeff Epstein. More information is coming out concerning his mansion. It turns out there's a lot more hidden areas than have been found alongside hidden rooms with secret access. What's more, some of these places were allegedly booby-trapped, which makes you wonder what they were doing there. Aside from that, Meet Maurice has appeared in messages that have got people wondering what's going on. Jeff was also very close to some former US presidents and even the current president, which has got people wondering why he's not standing for trial and answering to any of the things that's been discovered. Crazy, I know, but I'm choosing my words carefully here. I guess we just have to wait for the investigation to be completed.
But this kid in this video might be something else. Let's have a look. Up and away! That's a bit weird. I mean, it looks pretty real, right? Doesn't it? I mean, the first one with that big long arm coming out and grabbing the kid, well, maybe not so much, but some of them look quite real. So, and you'd have to be pretty cruel to like tie a piece of string or something to your kid's leg and yank it back like that. I'm not saying that there aren't people around who would do that. I'm just saying it would be cruel. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Would you ever eat 3D printed meat? I asked this question about 2 years ago, and back then it was more of a joke and a gimmick. Today, however, the technology has evolved so much that all it takes is a few cells from a real cow to do this. At the time of making this video, we're closer to having this on our supermarket shelves than before. There are some who are pushing back though. They don't trust the process by which the meat is being made and are worried about the health consequences of eating meat made in a lab. So what do you guys personally think? Is this more a humane way to approach eating beef and steak, or are we just deluding ourselves? Now, I've been seeing this clip all over for some days now. The creator of the video believes that most of the sculptures we see from ancient civilizations are actually petrified humans. He claims that some of these sculptures have come undone or been damaged, and when they were examined, the examiners found bone fragments and other material believed to be human remains turned to stone. Either the artwork is so good we think they're petrified humans, or they really are. I couldn't find any data to support his claims, but just think about it. Be pretty scary, wouldn't you agree? This clip was uploaded by a family after they checked their security cameras. Prior to the check, they'd been hearing something outside their homes and didn't know what it was. Do you see the humanoid figures slowly moving in the clip? They were circling their home. It appears to be bent over, gaunt-looking, and almost skeletal. It's definitely not human. Some viewers think it's a rake, others feel it might be a completely new type of cryptid. Now, I've watched the clip over and over, and I still can't decide what we're looking at here. Now, you've seen the clip as well, so you tell me what you think.
Now, I got sent this from someone who wanted to know what I thought about who was running the world. Now, I've talked endlessly about, the 1% of the elites. I think that, a lot of who we think runs the world are puppets, and the people that own everything are the ones that own the money. The Rothschilds are a classic example of this. But is there a final hierarchy? Do we have something like Baal, for instance? Is this what the Illuminati is? That could be interesting, but take a look and see, because if that's the case, we got Baal, we got Zionists, Royal Family, Rockefellers, the Vatican, Rothschilds, world leaders, 4 times at the bottom, and then actors, singers, sports star, medias. In other words, power gets down to power, gets down to power, gets down to power. Dog kicks cat, kicks mice. And this is personally how I do think things are run. I do.
When I saw this clip, I was so excited. I kept asking myself if this was the clip that confirmed Bigfoot's existence once and for all. Without thinking too much about it, I got Julius involved and asked him what he thought about this convincing Bigfoot footage. He stood still for a few seconds and then went to his laptop. After about 15 minutes, he returned and told me this was a scene mirroring one from a movie. The movie is actually titled Bigfoot, The Unforgettable Encounter. This scene has actually been created using AI to mirror a scene from the movie. You can imagine my disappointment. I didn't even watch the original clip. I went to the comments section of the original post, and surely it was there. Another person also mentioned that a bear would run from a Bigfoot, which makes sense when you think about it. A fully matured Bigfoot would be larger and definitely more intimidating than a bear. And how did I fail to fact-check this? I'm not going to hear the end of it from Julius. If any of you watched the movie, did you recognize the scene? Let us know in the comments. Next up, we've got our bonus segment, which features the strange-looking fish that was spotted along a riverbank, and it's certainly turning heads. I know there are some of you who know the creatures of the sea like the back of your hand. Consider this your personal trivia. Can you recognize this fine but strange specimen? Can you share any facts about the creature? Please do that in the comments section and start your answer with the word bonus. The right combination of answers may just make it into our bonus questions Hall of Fame. All the best. Curiosity often leads us to unexpected discoveries, and for this man, a seemingly ordinary pit turned into a portal to the unknown. As he peered into its depths, the revelation was both perplexing and intriguing. Instead of the expected darkness, a series of stairs unfolded, leading into an underground realm illuminated by mysterious lights. The man wisely hesitates, deciding not to descend into the unknown depths, but the question lingers. What lies beyond those dimly lit stairs? Is it a clandestine facility, a secret society's meeting place, or just a forgotten storage space with a quirky lighting setup? Is the government hiding something from us? Like the Antarctic conspiracies, there are stories about the government already having contact with extraterrestrial beings that might be proof. This guy took euro and dollar bills and put them under a microscope, and what he discovered was quite strange. Hidden from the human eyes were drawings of alien-looking creatures and flying saucers. This revelation sparked conspiracy theories suggesting secret government contact with extraterrestrial beings. The covert presence of such images on currency raises questions about the hidden motives of those in power. Why embed depictions of extraterrestrial beings and UFOs into the very fabric of our financial system? Could it be a discreet acknowledgement of dealings with otherworldly forces, or perhaps a subtle nod to the enduring mysteries that surround us? Anyone with a $100 bill to confirm this, by the way? A group of Bigfoot researchers ventured deep into the woods of Montana, a known hotspot for sightings of the elusive creature. They set out after receiving a tip about a recent Bigfoot sighting in the area, eager to capture something on camera. As they set up their equipment and panned the camera around the dense forest, everything seemed still and quiet. Initially, they didn't notice anything unusual, but it wasn't until they reviewed the footage later that they saw it. Between the trees, there was a face. The creature's head was domed, and its fur blending seamlessly with the shadows of the forest. Its brow was creased, and it seemed to be carefully watching the group from a distance. The Bigfoot stood there for a while, almost as if it was observing them before it finally disappeared in the woods. The creature's slightly brownish-black fur blended so well with the tree trunks that it was nearly impossible to spot it unless you're looking very closely. Could this be solid evidence of Bigfoot's existence? What do you think? After heavy rainfall, a woman captured something truly unusual, a thick drop of rain clinging to a leaf with an insect seemingly trapped inside. The insect was wiggling, struggling to break free from the water's grasp. At first glance, it seemed like a simple occurrence, an insect caught in a raindrop, right? But when you look closer, it almost feels unnatural. The way the water enveloped the insect, holding it there, motionless except for its faint, desperate movements, gave the moment an eerie quality. Could it be just a rare natural phenomenon, or is there something more to this strange moment? In the night sky, someone came across a celestial show that couldn't be easily explained. At first, the shiny dots in the sky seemed like regular stars. However, they started moving together in a way that didn't match the usual patterns of planes. These mysterious lights got people guessing, making the observer think that what they were seeing might not be something from Earth, but possibly an unidentified flying object. The unique arrangement and synchronized movement of the lights made this flying mystery quite different from ordinary things in the sky. Are we witnessing extraterrestrial visitors, or is there some secret human tech that we don't know of? Now, what we have here is a captivating creature known as the deadleaf mantis. This master of camouflage has evolved to resemble a withered, curled-up leaf, and its ability to mimic the appearance of a dead leaf is nothing short of remarkable. With its intricate leaf-like body, structure, and coloration, this mantis can seemingly blend into its natural habitat, staying hidden from predators and ambushing its prey. It's a true testament to the wonders of nature and the incredible adaptations that many species have developed for survival. So the next time you're out exploring the wild, keep an eye out for the marvelous deadleaf mantis. This disturbing footage was shared online, and it's unlike anything we've seen before. In the video, there is a person sitting on a train, but something is terribly wrong. The figure appears to be headless, its body bent backwards in an unnatural position. As if that wasn't strange enough, a thick, dark liquid is pouring out from where the head should be, slowly spilling onto the floor of the train. The sight is unsettling to say the least. The liquid looks almost too dark to be blood, giving it an otherworldly, sinister quality. But the question remains, what exactly is happening here? Is this some kind of elaborate hoax or special effect, or is it something much darker, something that can't be explained away so easily? If you were a daredevil with an appetite for paragliding, this next one's for you. This paraglider assumed he was all alone up there and decided to have fun and immortalize his adventure using the gadget known to mortals as camera. As he recorded himself, he noticed that there was something else up there with him. He started to film it, and after filming for a while, it hit him. It was not a machine or small aircraft, it was actually a small being flying through the crowds. Try as much as he did, he couldn't put a finger on what he was dealing with. He uploaded the clip online, which brought different views and opinions. Some thought it was a man with a jetpack, whereas others thought it was a balloon. Another mentioned a Black Knight satellite, but I'm not sure that's it. You've seen the clip, right? So what do you think? Next, we visit Florida, where individuals were greeted with an unexpected yet vibrant display in their skies. Take a look.
Look!
Yes, you're seeing right. There appears to be a bright orange light behind the clouds in the sky, and that naturally had the whole place lit orange. Here's the twist. The mysterious glowing ball in the sky isn't just hanging there. It starts moving, making everyone wonder what's going on. As it comes out from behind the clouds, it turns out to be a bright orange orb, and nobody can easily explain it. Some in the paranormal community think it's the government responsible for using their blue beam technology, but that's hard to prove on our side, even though we have our theories. What do you think about the whole thing, though? In this recent video, someone captured a peculiar light bouncing around in the night sky. Some suggest it could be an ether ship plasma energy, evoking thoughts of extraterrestrial phenomena, a mysterious craft navigating the celestial canvas. Skeptics opted for more grounded explanations. Some stated that it might be an unconventional aircraft, atmospheric anomalies, or the interplay of light reflecting off earthly objects. What's your perspective on this cosmic light display? Is it the dance of an ether ship, a celestial energy phenomenon, or is there a more earthly explanation for this captivating show in the night sky?
Incredible.
A strange and captivating arc appeared recently in Birmingham, UK. It stretched across the horizon like a translucent red dome, glowing faintly against the darkening sky. The sight was breathtaking, almost otherworldly, yet it left many people feeling a deep sense of curiosity and perhaps a little unease. The arc's unusual color and shape made it stand out from anything typically seen in the sky. Was it just a rare atmospheric event, a unique weather phenomenon that we simply don't see often, or could it be something more otherworldly? Some have speculated that it might be an alien sign or perhaps even a portal to another dimension shimmering there on the edge of our reality. What do you think?
Incredible.
Oh my god!
The man behind the camera captured an unexpected and candid moment. A plane flew overhead, releasing a strange red powder that covered his entire compound. As he surveyed the scene, he noticed the red substances had stained everything in sight. His car was covered in it, and even the passenger side window had been shattered. The camera pans round, revealing a smoky atmosphere and a fire truck parked nearby. It quickly becomes clear that there has been a fire outbreak, and the red powder is in fact a fire retardant. This substance, often dropped by planes during wildfires, is used to help slow the spread of the flames, creating a barrier to protect homes and other areas at risk.
Oh my god!
UAPs, UFOs, and aliens have become topics that have made their way into mainstream media in recent times. Although there hasn't been any evidence to prove their existence and authenticity, there is a class of people who believe they're real. Now take a look at this footage, for instance. There is what looks like a cloaked craft in the sky, and you can even see the silhouette of someone walking inside. Sometimes light can play tricks on your eyes, so some believe that this is just Fate Morgana, a trick of the light. However, there are some who are convinced that we're looking at a genuine cloaked UAP in the sky. What do you think? Watch this footage closely and tell me where the man in the pink shirt came from. Take a look at the footage again. A man in a pink shirt seemingly materializes out of thin air in front of a woman in a costume. He appears to be filming her, and what's more perplexing, neither the woman nor the people around seem to notice his sudden appearance. Is this a glitch in the Matrix, a momentary rift in the fabric of reality where someone crosses over from the unseen? Share your thoughts. Possession is a topic that sparks heated debates across various traditions and religions. Some affirm believers that these events are real, while others dismiss them as symptoms of mental illness. It's a polarizing subject with passionate arguments on both sides. In this bizarre footage, a young girl wakes up in the middle of the night, startled by loud banging sounds coming from the kitchen. Nervous but curious, she grabs her phone and starts recording as she heads toward the noise. What she finds is deeply unsettling. There, standing in front of the oven, is her mother, but something's off. Her mother is repeatedly banging the oven door, lost in the action as if in a trance. Confused and frightened, the girl calls out to her, but the moment her mother turns round, things take a terrifying twist. Her mother's gaze is vacant, her face twisted in a way that almost seems inhuman. Then, without warning, she lets out a horrifying, unnatural sound. It's nothing like her mother's voice, something much darker. Suddenly, her mother starts moving towards her, the strange noise still coming from her. Panicked, the girl sprints back upstairs and the footage cuts off. Was this a disturbing display of possession, or could it have been a case of sleepwalking? Sleepwalking can explain strange behaviors, but the unnatural sounds and the mother's eerie gaze leaves much to wonder. What do you think? Could there be something much more sinister at play?
Couldn't AI, even in this moment, just with the technology that we have before us, be used in some fairly destructive ways?
You could make a swarm of assassin drones for very little money by just taking the Face ID chip that's used in cell phones.
Ever thought about AI-powered assassin drones? Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? Well, according to Elon Musk, it's not so far-fetched. In fact, he warns that he already has the tech to build them today. Scary, huh? But don't panic just yet. Musk has an idea to keep us safe. He's all about human-AI symbiosis, where humans and machines work together. How? Through Neuralink. Yeah, we're talking electrodes and tiny wires implanted in your brain to give you cognition, a serious upgrade. Think of it like having a smartphone in your head, helping you think faster and smarter. And Musk, he's confident this could happen within a decade. What do you think? Is this something you would subscribe to, or does it give you end-of-the-world vibes?
And having a small explosive charge and a standard drone, and have them just do a grid sweep of the building until they find the person they're looking for, ram into them and explode. You can do that right now. No new technology is needed.
Holy Holy
A man was riding his quad bike through a forest path at night and experienced a chilling encounter. His helmet's dash cam captured it all. His dog began barking furiously, alerting him to something unusual ahead. When the man looked, he saw it too.
a slender, tall, and pale creature lurking in the darkness. The footage reveals a figure standing at approximately 9 to 10 feet tall, its frame unnaturally skinny with long bony arms that add to its eerie appearance. Could this be a sighting of an alien, a cryptid, or even something akin to the legendary Slender Man?
Holy Holy
Imagine returning home one evening and seeing this in the front of your garage.
What the hell is this thing?
This doesn't look like the kind of welcome anyone would want, and that was the exact case of this individual filming. He felt there was probably a cryptid in from his home, but as he got closer, he realized he might have overreacted. It was just an owl. When he uploaded the clip, however, some thought that he might have been right in his initial assessment and that this creature may have just shapeshifted. I'm not surprised by that submission, though, as owls are often seen as mystical creatures, often associated with omens, death, or transformation in different cultures. In Native American folklore, owls are sometimes viewed as messengers from the spirit world, with certain tribes believing they warn of death or danger. Similarly, in African traditions, owls are often linked to witchcraft, with some believing they're witches or sorcerers in disguise. In Mexican folklore, the lechuza is a shape-shifting witch that takes the form of an owl to spy on or harm others. Not sure how all this fits in with the encounter, but I'll let you guys decide.
What the hell is this thing?
That is just a massive
You can see
footprint.
the toes.
Yes.
That's so neat.
I didn't expect to find anything.
Me
We haven't
neither.
had much luck in the
Let me get a
wintertime.
picture to see.
A man and his partner were hiking in the mountains when they stumbled upon something unusual. Footprints. But these weren't just ordinary prints. They were massive. And what's even more curious is that there were two distinct sizes. One set of prints was slightly larger than the other. Now here's where it gets even weirder. The prints appeared to be sidestepping, almost as if something was shuffling its feet. This strange movement left them puzzled, but according to some, this sidestepping gait is linked to a well-known behavior of Bigfoot. It's said that when Bigfoot is stalking its prey, it moves stealthily, sidestepping to avoid startling whatever it's hunting. The location of these prints, a known Bigfoot hotspot in the Siberian mountains. The couple even reported hearing eerie noises earlier in the day, which they now believe could have been linked to the creature. The size, the strange walk, and the timing all point to one thing: Bigfoot. What do you think?
We're going to have to measure this too.
Okay.
Found a Bigfoot that was sidestepping right here. He's doing this little shuffle side.
Ever heard of the term black rain? No? Well, today's your lucky day. You'll get to watch it as well. Confused? And yes, those are actual fishes falling from the sky. It's not something you see every day, but it's something that actually happens. Black or animal rain is a phenomenon where fish and other small aquatic animals fall from the sky. It has been reported in various parts of the world. It occurs when strong storms, waterspouts, or tornadoes pick up fish, frogs, and other small animals from bodies of water and carry them through the air. Eventually, these animals are dropped, sometimes miles away from where they were originally lifted. Though rare, this occurrence has been documented throughout history, with some notable instances happening in Honduras, known locally as lluvia de peces, which is essentially rain of fish. It usually coincides with strong weather patterns, and is not related to any supernatural or mysterious causes, despite some myths or conspiracy theories surrounding it. Naturally, humans are likely to run towards someone in distress and offer their aid. But what happens when you find the distressed person looking like this? Confused? Well, allow me to explain. Some individuals were out at night when they heard a woman crying from the woods. Worried, they moved in the direction of the sound, only to find this creature looking at them. It was responsible for the sound, and they were naturally perplexed. This didn't look human and didn't look like any creature they knew. So how was it making these sounds? Above all, why? Without waiting to find answers, they took some clips and quickly left the place. Once safely away, they uploaded the clip in search of answers. Many theories flew around, with the most predominant one being it's a witch. Well, you guys have seen the clip, so what do you also think? We've all been hearing the theories lately about how UFOs might not just be from the skies but could also originate from the depths of our oceans. Well, a group of boaters had a truly bizarre encounter when something emerged from the water right next to their boat in the middle of the ocean. Take a look at this. It's a disc-shaped craft rising up. But let's be honest here, doesn't this look like something AI generated? Well, it's fun to imagine the possibilities. What's your take on this?
Hello? Right.
This footage was captured by a man who decided to visit what many believe is the site of a gruesome murder. The location, a dark, forgotten tunnel. It was late at night, prime time for something spooky to happen, and he went there hoping to catch something on camera. According to local stories, a woman and her baby were brutally murdered there, their bodies pushed into the murky water that still runs alongside the tunnel. Chilling, right? The man had heard these disturbing tales, and being curious, he set out to investigate. The tunnel itself was unsettling enough, cold, dark, with the kind of silence that creeps up on you. But things took a bizarre turn when, while filming the water, he noticed something disturbing. A dead deer floating in the water. The already eerie atmosphere became even more oppressive, like the place itself was trying to warn him. But he pressed on, determined to see if he could experience anything paranormal. So standing in the tunnel, he began shouting, asking if anyone or anything was there. And then something happened. At first, sound he heard was a faint echo of a baby crying. He didn't stick around to find out more. Without wasting a second, he turned and sprinted out of the tunnel as fast as he could. But here's the question. Was that the ghost of a child who met such a tragic fate in that very spot? It could be the lingering spirit of the baby crying out from beyond. And let me ask you, would you dare venture into a place like this knowing what happened there? I don't know about you, but I definitely would not.
Hello? Right.
Next, we visit West Africa, Côte d'Ivoire, to be specific, where someone believes they captured a sign from God. Take a look.
It looks like a blue beam shooting into the atmosphere, doesn't it? It's therefore no surprise that when this was uploaded, many assumed that it was blue beam tech at play. But is it though? Well, the one who captured it believes it's a sign from God. Some who saw it online thought it was a cloud flare. A few others assumed the clouds looked like that because of the light from the sun passing them. According to them, the size of the cloud, the number, and the angle at which the sun hits them are what's contributing to this odd color of the clouds. While that sounds logical, it's not so exciting. Blue beam sounds a bit more exciting, but there's also the issue of realism. Anyway, what do you think we're dealing with? Shiny, right? When I first saw this, I thought it was some sort of sword, but after a few seconds in, I realized it's actually alive. I assumed the light was coming off the fish, which would have been super cool. It took watching it a few more times to realize that there was a flashlight involved. Putting the flashlight on the fish made it look like there was light coming from it. But pay attention to the man's clothes. See it? Yep. Does that mean the fish isn't special? No, not all fishes shimmer and reflect light the way this one does. It's just beautiful. Does anyone know what fish it is, though? Julius, I wouldn't tell. This footage was shared by a passenger on a plane. We don't know the exact location at the time, but what this person captured in the sky is enough to leave anyone stunned. The passenger spotted something unusual through the plane window. It was a mysterious craft. Though the camera moves a bit, you can clearly see the object hovering in the sky. What makes this even more intriguing is the shape of the craft. It's smooth and elongated. There are no wings, no visible engines, just this sleek tic-tac shaped object floating effortlessly. UFO enthusiasts have long claimed sightings of crafts like these, often referring to them as advanced unidentified aerial phenomena. Is this another example of extraterrestrial technology? What do you think? This footage was shared by two hikers who had gone camping up at the San Gabriel Mountains. They'd picked a quiet spot to set up camp, pitched their tents, and still had a good bit of daylight left, so they decided to walk around and explore the area. At first, everything seemed normal, but after a while, they both admitted they started to get this uneasy feeling. Nothing specific, just that creeping sensation, like something was off. Now, these two happened to be firm Sasquatch believers, so of course they were on alert, keeping their eyes open for anything strange. As they made their way down to a nearby creek, they noticed there was a strong, musky smell in the air, like a wild animal was nearby. Then they noticed massive tree trunks that had been snapped in half, not cut, but snapped, and it didn't look like damage from weather or decay either. These breaks were unnatural. But the moment that really shook them was what happened next. Rocks started flying toward them. They didn't see who or what was throwing them, but they saw the rocks land near them, and they were being tossed from higher up the hill. They believed they'd wandered into the territory of a Sasquatch, and this was its way of warning them to back off. But what do you think?
Shit, look at that. That's it, bro. You're right, that's it.
Dude, what the? That is... I'm not going near that thing.
Some rocks just came flying down this hillside right here. I'm gonna do a whistle and see if we hear anything.
You hear that? No, did you hear
Yeah. Yep, back it up a little bit.
That was a loud creak.
Have you ever had that feeling you were being watched? Well, I had it several times and it usually turns out to be nothing. For the man in this video, however, there was a genuine reason to feel like that. After looking around, he saw something watching him from the structure he was working on. We can't see much, but we know there's something there. The one who recorded, otherwise known as Alex, believes there's a mini-human there. Once the clip made its way online, members of the community felt it was most likely an owl instead, and looking at the clip, I feel that way as well. Aaron, on the other hand, isn't buying it. He feels it could be an alien mimicking the creatures of Earth, and yeah, that's the phrase he used. You've seen the clip, so what do you think?
Come on, dude. There's a mini human in there. Nah. We're chilling, working, and this fool popped his head out.
Dogs go crazy at midnight for a variety of reasons, but when you're used to having quiet dogs who all of a sudden become noisy at night, you start to wonder what's setting them off. This was the situation for Oscar Martinez, and luckily for him, his property had a security cam. Once he began to go over the security cam footage, he saw what it was that was upsetting his dogs. It's, however, one thing to see the cause and another to recognize it. Martinez only saw a woman in white walking the streets close to his home. She had this eerie aura that made him believe he was dealing with a being that was not exactly human. He uploaded the clip seeking answers, and he did get a lot of them. The most predominant among the answers was that he may either be dealing with a distressed and lost spirit or dealing with La Llorona. If you're new here, La Llorona is said to be the spirit of a woman who, in a fit of rage of despair, drowned her children in a river after being abandoned or betrayed by her lover. Realizing the horror of her actions, she's consumed by grief and takes her own life. In the afterlife, she's cursed to wander the earth, crying out for her lost children and searching for them endlessly, much like the being we see moving in the clip. What do you think, though? Doors are essential for security. But what happens when the intruder is a huge black bear? A home security camera inside a living room captured startling footage of just such an event. The video shows the front door being forcefully opened, with the frame giving way under the bear's strength. Moments later, the massive animal strides into the house, casually exploring the space. Fortunately, the homeowners were not present during the incident. When they returned, they found the door ajar and watched the footage to uncover the cause and shared this video online. This is also a reminder to secure your homes, especially in areas where bears or other large creatures are known to roam. A woman in central London caught something strange on camera during a live stream. It was around 9 p.m. and the sun was setting, so the sky was not fully dark yet, but what she saw was not normal. Hovering up in the sky was a large, glowing pink orb, very vivid and impossible to miss. It appeared perfectly round, but as she watched, it started to shape-shift. The woman was so stunned that she shared the video online immediately, and ever since then, it's had people asking what the hell it was. Some speculate that it could be a UFO, others say a projection. Some also say it's some kind of unknown atmospheric phenomenon, but we don't know for sure. To those who were out in central London that evening, did you see this too? Because if not, you're going to want to take a look at this video.
I have no clue what type of phenomenon is this that appears in central London last night. To me, it looks like an alien spaceship. And then it's out of the blue, the shape's changed to like an apple. Look at it. Can anyone explain?
Back in 2024, a US military platform released this footage which was taken somewhere in the Middle East. What you're looking at is a strange object zipping across the sky at incredible speeds. It moved too fast for anything we're familiar with. As always, people were quick to call it a UFO, and honestly it does look like one, but skeptics were just as fast to say it might be fake, or maybe just a spy drone, possibly Chinese or some other form of military tech. But that's becoming the go-to explanation now, isn't it? Advanced drones, secret tech, new surveillance systems. At some point, you gotta wonder if all these sightings are just drones, so are we being softened up for a truth that's harder to swallow? Could this be a UFO? While you decide on that, here's a holiday mystery that has earned its place as a Christmas classic among cryptid fans, the so-called Christmas Bigfoot footage. This was captured in Minnesota in 2014 and later featured on Paranormal, caught on camera on the Travel Channel. The clip begins with the family enjoying their Christmas festivities, which is followed by an eerie interruption that has sparked endless debates among believers and skeptics alike. When the video first surfaced, the family described their experience with a mix of awe and fear. They said, "If you see that this Christmas in your yard, you go out there and you look at the footprints. An animal that size could easily snap a person like a twig. That fear was real." The next day, they found deep holes in the snow where the creature had walked. They noted how anything moving through deep snow leaves similar impressions, whether it's a German Shepherd or a Timberwolf. The tracks, while intriguing, have left little to confirm what kind of creature had made them. Some believe it was the big guy, whereas others think there's nothing extraordinary about it. Not sure those who had the experience feel that way, but what do you guys think? A woman went to the market to grab some bandages and stumbled upon something unexpected. This is about 3 or 4 bananas fused into one. Naturally, she bought the whole thing, and guess what? She only paid the price for a single banana. These kinds of things are incredibly rare to come across, and honestly, it's fascinating how nature works sometimes. Some don't think it's nature, though. All those people see is a glitch in the code of the Matrix. Have you ever seen something like this? There's an ongoing obsession to make things bigger, and no, it's definitely not what you're thinking. If it was, I'd be joining a queue. You know what? Let's just watch the clip before this gets any more awkward. Yeah, those are allegedly her lips. I find myself using the word allegedly a lot because, well, it's not only a way to keep myself from either getting roasted or sued, it's a way to keep myself sane too. Anyway, back to the clip. The details that came with the video stated that she was getting a lip injection, and looking at the clip, I couldn't help but wonder why. This concern ties with all the strange things we're seeing happening everywhere these days. Big hips, thighs, muscles, and boobs. I'm not sure why this generation thinks bigger is better. I was getting ready to write a whole thesis on this when Julius walked in, laughed, and asked if I knew that those weren't the lady's lips. I asked him what he meant by that, and he asked me to take the second and third look. He's like, they're definitely sausages, and the makers of this video are just trolling us. After looking at them, I must admit they do look like sausages, but it doesn't change the fact that the points I mentioned earlier are true. Why are we so obsessed with making body parts big? Most often, the individuals who find these exaggerated body parts are the individuals themselves and family members with no backbone to tell them the truth. Maybe I went a little overboard there, but perhaps we should be encouraging people to love themselves more instead of becoming unrealistic imaginations of themselves. I draw my curtains here. On to the next one. Not to be rude, but what do you think is going on here? I've seen a number of strange things in my day on the bus, but never this. Many who saw the clip online felt she might have had a medical condition causing her skin to rot away. Others felt she might not be human at all, perhaps an orc. While my video editor and I tried to determine if this was CGI or not, our Gen Z intern walked in and laughed at us. According to her, these are fake feet sold on Temu. Not sure about that, though. You guys take a good look and let me know what you think.
This footage captures a mysterious light illuminating the night sky. It's a bright, pulsating mass with an intense glow that almost resembles flames, but it's clearly not fire. Suspended in the darkness, it pulses rhythmically, its fiery appearance seeming almost alive. The glowing object hangs eerily in the air. Its strange, almost hypnotic behavior have sparked a flurry of speculation, with some suggesting it could be an unexplained atmospheric phenomenon, while others lean toward theories of extraterrestrial activity. What do you think it is? Isn't necessarily the fact that it was recorded in Spain or that the clouds are red, but the fact that there's another recording just like it coming from the US around the same time. Nobody has any logical explanation for the clouds, and there's been a general censorship on everything related to this. At least, that's what our source says. So before I ask you guys what you think we may be dealing with, do we have people in the USA and Spain who can confirm if they experienced this or something similar? Doing so will greatly help us out.
You see the man looking out of the window, right? He looks rather unhappy and appears to be deep in thought. It almost makes it wrong to film someone like that while they're deep in thought, doesn't it? Well, that's just the thing. The building you're looking at is an abandoned one, with almost no one living inside of it, so yeah, it's abandoned. According to the one who uploaded the clip, it's also closed off. This means no one can access it. It was allegedly taken in China, and the uploader points out that the man is wearing clothes from the pre-industrial era. This made him conclude that he was either looking at a ghost or someone jumping through time. Even if that were the case, why the gloomy face? Is there something coming that no one is aware of? Maybe I'm overthinking it, but what do you guys say? A Chinese surgeon has just made history. Using robotic technology, he remotely performed a prostate surgery on a patient located in Beijing, while the surgeon himself was over 8,000 kilometers away in Rome. Yeah, you heard that right. The operation was done across continents in real time, and it was a complete success, with only a few milliseconds of delay. This isn't science fiction anymore, it's actually happening. With such precision and stability, experts say this kind of remote robotic surgery could soon become mainstream in medical procedures around the world. Would you opt for this if your preferred surgeon was on the other side of the globe? This could mean that surgeons would have no vacations, they could swim in Hawaii and be called to strap in for surgery.
A man was out exploring when he came across something extraordinary, a tomb containing what appeared to be mummies. The tomb seemed to be constructed of sand or stone, and as he dug through the site, this was what he discovered. Inside, there was a mummified figure completely shrouded in white cloth seated on a chair. Between its legs lay a sword embedded in the ground. Beside the seated mummy stood another upright mummy standing as if guarding the area. The man removed the sword to examine it more closely, but it's unclear where this site is located or the significance of what he unearthed. While this discovery is undeniably fascinating, many would argue that ancient sites and artifacts should not be disturbed. They could carry historical, cultural, or even spiritual significance. Exploring such finds should ideally involve archaeologists and experts to ensure that the site is treated with respect and care. Don't you think? While driving home one night, a man came to a sudden halt, and here's why. Right in front of him, on the path cutting through a field, was something straight out of a nightmare. A line of fire stretched across his path, and in the middle of it stood a man. He was shirtless, with a white cloth tied around his waist, and his long hair hung over his face and body, obscuring most of his features. The man behind the wheel quickly stopped his car and began filming this eerie scene. The footage cuts off abruptly, leaving us with so many unanswered questions. What was going on here? Could it have been some kind of ritual or religious practice, or perhaps something even stranger? Some men were hanging out outdoors when this strange creature appeared out of nowhere and casually walked among them. They set down a bowl of something on the ground, and the animal wandered right up to it and started eating. This creature looks like something between a fox and a wolf, but much taller and leaner. Its long, slender legs and reddish fur give it a fairy tale look. But if you're wondering what it is, you're not alone. A lot of people were stumped. Some thought it might be a wild hybrid or even something paranormal, but no, this mysterious visitor is known as a maned wolf. Despite the name, the maned wolf is neither a fox nor a true wolf. It's a unique species native to South America, especially Brazil, and it belongs to a genus called Chrysocyon, which means golden dog. Chrysocyon? Chrysocyon? Can anyone else pronounce that? Anyway, it means golden dog. Its tall legs help it see above the tall grasses of its native habitat, and while it looks intimidating, it usually quite shy and solitary. These creatures are one of nature's strangest yet most graceful mysteries in the animal kingdom. Chernobyl is known for strange and disturbing stories, especially when it comes to animals believed to have mutated due to radiation exposure. Over the years, there have been reports of creatures that were deformed due to radiation exposure, but this footage is on a different level. A clip has been circulating online, and it's unclear if it was filmed in the Chernobyl exclusion zone. The video shows what appears to be a moose, but with no head, just a large body running through a forested area. And there were no signs of an injury, just a smoothness which was supposed to be a neck and head. So what exactly is going on here? Is this a case of natural mutation? And was it caused by radiation exposure from Chernobyl, or is this even from there at all? When we think of nuclear and radioactive exposure, the first thing that comes to mind is Chernobyl and the like. We never think that there could be a little boy in our neighborhood building a nuclear reactor and putting us all in danger. That's the exact story of David Hahn. the radioactive Boy Scout. Fascinated by science, Han devoured old textbooks and manuals to learn about radioactive materials. As a Boy Scout working on an atomic energy badge, his curiosity spiraled into dangerous experiment. He scavenged radioactive elements from common household items, including americium from smoke detectors, thorium from gas lantern mantles, and radium from antique clocks. With ingenuity and makeshift tools, Han set up a laboratory in his backyard shed, attempting to create a functioning breeder reactor that could generate energy. Unfortunately, Han's experiment took a hazardous turn. The reactor began emitting increasing levels of radiation. Things could have gotten really bad if he hadn't been stopped by the local police, who detected radioactive material in his car during a routine stop. Fearing he might be building a bomb, the feds were contacted, and this led to the dismantling of Han's shed by a hazmat team. Although no explosion occurred, the incident resulted in environmental contamination and highlighted the potential dangers of unregulated amateur experiments. This is a picture of David in his mid-20s with sores all over his body. He paid a hefty price for his experiment, but imagine authorities never discovering his experiment. Just imagine what could have happened to him and his neighborhood. Scary, huh? Well, just in case you were wondering, he ended up serving in the United States Navy and the United States Marine Corps, but died young. Well, on that note, let's dive into another fascinating discovery captured on camera. A group of workers on site managed to capture something truly bizarre. A small patch of cloud appeared to be falling right out of the sky. Yes, a piece of a cloud just descended to the ground. Now, we all know that clouds aren't supposed to fall, they're supposed to stay suspended in the sky. But this moment seems to challenge everything we thought we knew. Just look at how the men rushed to check it out, running over in disbelief to examine what appeared to be a fallen piece of cloud. But here's the real question. Can clouds actually fall, or is there another explanation for this strange phenomenon?
This was captured in the deep, tangled waterways of Brazil's River Bain, a place locals have been wary of for years. In the video, you can see something long and dark moving through the water, deep and fast. Just as a boat starts getting close, it suddenly slips under the surface and disappears without a trace. The people who saw it in person say it looked like some kind of water horse, part serpent, part something else. Nothing they've ever seen before, and nothing that's supposed to live in that river. The thing is, River Bain has always had a strange reputation. There have been stories about weird animals, missing livestock, and strange movements in the water for years. Most people chalk it up to myths until things like this happen. Now, some folks are saying it could be a species we haven't discovered yet. Others think it's something the government knows about but won't talk about. Maybe an old experiment or something they're trying to keep hidden. Some even claim they've seen drones or military boats near the area, and not for research. Sounds crazy, but then again, so does a giant water creature caught on camera. Take a look for yourself and ask, is this real? Or if it is, what's really out there in the River Bain? Next, I got something beautiful for you. Do you see this? Would you believe me if I told you that this was all natural? This is what rain on a bioluminescent sea looks like. Aaron had some conspiracy cooking, but thankfully Julius was here to explain things to us. He told us that what you're seeing wasn't magic, but it might as well be. Bioluminescence is nature's glow stick caused by tiny marine organisms like plankton or algae that emit light when disturbed. So when rain falls and hits the surface, every droplet triggers a burst of glowing blue, green, and even violet sparkles. It's like the sea is dancing with the sky. The colors shift and shimmer depending on what type of organism and how dense they are in the water. And when it rains, it's like the stars came down for a swim. Every splash turns the dark ocean into a galaxy. Beautiful, mesmerizing, and 100% real.
Russia has been embroiled in a drawn-out war for years, with the United States standing firmly on Ukraine's side. Recently, a move by outgoing US President Joe Biden has sent shock waves worldwide. He authorized the use of US-made missiles by Ukraine to target Russian territory. This action has escalated tensions dramatically, with many fearing it could spark a third world war. We know how volatile Vladimir Putin can be, and he's already responded. In a statement, Putin suggested that this move has brought the world closer to a direct war between Russia and the US, even hinting that he might consider the use of nuclear weapons. And we don't need to imagine what that means for humanity. It's catastrophic. But the real question is, why now? Joe Biden, the sitting president who is approaching the end of his term, seems frail even in public appearances. Yet here he is, making decisions with monumental consequences for global security. Is this really Biden's strategy, or is someone else pulling the strings behind the scenes? This man working in the sewers of London pulled out this creature from the sewer water. It's massive, and it's a slimy creature. Just look at the size of that thing. It's enormous, larger than anything you'd expect to find lurking in a sewer. The sewers are one of the least explored places in any city, filled with all kinds of waste, chemicals, and runoff. Who knows what sort of bizarre and potentially dangerous creatures could thrive in such an environment? If this footage is real, could this massive slug-like creature be some kind of mutation caused by chemical exposure? Or could it simply be a species we haven't encountered often due to the dark and hostile environment of the sewers? On the other hand, there's always the possibility that this is AI-generated footage. If that's the case, it's a chillingly convincing piece of work.
This strange creature was captured by the ocean, and more accurately on the shore late at night. A man had gone out for a peaceful nighttime walk by the beach, but what he found was anything but peaceful. Lying there in the sand was this strange black goo, except it wasn't just goo, it was alive. The creature had these tiny tentacle-like edges that seemed to regenerate, and as it moved slowly across the sand, every time part of it touched the ground, it rebuilt itself. This isn't the only footage out there. There have been multiple sightings of this creature, but always by the ocean, always appearing in remote or low-traffic beach areas. No one seems to know exactly what they are. Some believe it could be a deep-sea organism, others think it might be an alien life form that washed up with the tide, but what do you think? Believe it or not, this clip was allegedly recorded on April the 11th, 2025 in Bangkok, Thailand. The individual who uploaded it online states and insists it's a UFO. Now, looking at the clip, I've no reason to not believe it's one. I mean, look at it. There's no ship, and by ship, I mean craft that looks like that, right? Exactly. Unless, of course, they're balloons, and, well, then that's a different story. The uploader, however, insists that there are no ongoing balloon shows that particular day, and that this is most definitely a UFO. Julius offers no comment on this, so I can't feed you with his usual logical argument. Maybe that's good. A logical argument I would, however, want to hear is yours. What do you think we're looking at here? A man was walking home late at night when he started hearing strange snapping sounds coming from the trees around him. So he pulled out his phone and flashlight to record the source of the noises. What he captured is both shocking and baffling. In the footage, a massive creature can be seen moving through the woods. It's walking on two legs. The man believes what he saw could be a Bigfoot. What's your take on this figure in the woods? This footage is truly bizarre. Shared online as a candid capture of a cloudburst, it appears to come from a security camera overlooking a property. At first glance, it seems to document a sudden, intense downpour, a thick cascade of rain that descends with remarkable force. In the chaos, water rushes through, pushing a black car forward while another black car drives off in the background. But here's where it gets eerie. If you look closely, the sequence doesn't add up. At the far end, there's a black car, followed by a white and yellow one. However, as the water falls, the yellow car inexplicably vanishes. Then, almost as if by magic, a black car eerily similar to the one driving away earlier is suddenly washed to the front. Some say it's an unintentional glitch in the footage, others suspect it's been doctored using AI or editing software to create the illusion. What do you think? If there's one subject we've covered numerous times, it's the subject of a secret elite controlling the world. While some might dismiss it as conspiracy and lies, the source of these conspiracies always makes us think twice. This comes from a lady who used to work in the White House, and according to her, there's a small group of elites that make decisions that affect the global world. Sounds a bit like every other whistleblower, right? Well, wrong. She adds a dimension none of the other whistleblowers have added. She states that this group of elites are actually interdimensional beings, which some might consider demons. These guys were brought into our plane thanks to some rituals performed by individuals like rocket scientist Jack Parsons and Alex Crowley in the 1900s. These rituals birth energies that have made it possible to have these demonic entities in our plane. But why go through so much trouble to get here? According to Catherine Fitz, the whistleblower, they intended to harvest humans for energy. According to her, the UFO phenomenon and all the extraterrestrial sightings started after these rituals were made on Earth. That's not enough time to talk about the 16th century incantations they've used that may have opened portals. Well, they kind of allowed these beings into our realm, but let's just say it's much darker than YouTube will allow me to say. Perhaps we do a special episode on this later. I saw this, and it made my blood run cold. At least for the first few seconds, and then it hit me. I know what this creature is. Somehow, this one looks weird and appears to be having something wrong with it. A team member even asked me if it was transforming. I don't know about the transformation, but can you guess what this creature is? If you can you also tell me what's wrong with it? I can, but consider this your bonus footage of the day.
Do birds turn on like bulbs? The obvious answer is no, right? So how do you explain this? In the clip, we see the bottom part of a bird light up and turn off a few times. Many individuals who saw this think it's not real, whereas others think it's a sign they needed to confirm that not all our birds in the sky are biological. They assume this is a cyborg, which sounds a bit ridiculous, but if you had been there, you'd know not to call such things ridiculous. Either way, the paranormal community is divided about this and could use your opinion. What do you think is going on here? What does this look like to you? Confused, are we? Well, once this clip was uploaded, there were some who thought it looked like spirits entering into our realm. Personally, I can see where they're coming from because it has this portal look and feel to it, but it turns out that's not the case. It turns out it's an intercontinental ballistic missile with multiple re-entry warheads that Russia launched on a Ukrainian city. After a little research, I discovered that it may be technology that only Russia has, which means the West predominantly. The US doesn't really have this, and many in the comment section are shaken by this. Not sure which interpretation is scarier, that these are spirits entering our realm, or that this is firepower one nation possesses and can simply launch anywhere whenever they feel like it. I'm not the only one seeing that, right? There's a humanoid-like figure in the sky and it appears to be made of light. The uploader of the clip was confused when he came across it. He initially thought he was seeing things till he recorded with his phone and it was still there. That, according to him, was confirmation that this was no visual illusion, but if it wasn't a visual illusion, well, then what is it? You don't need a psychic to know that many already think it's a UFO. There are a few who also think this might be nothing more than a field test for Project Bluebeam. With everything happening between the US and the other superpowers, they feel this might be the next phase of warfare, a mental and psychological one. But what do you think? You might not believe this, but engineers are out here giving robots something close to skin. And not just any kind of skin, but self-healing skin. At the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, a team led by Eric Mark Vika has created a soft robotic system that could detect damage and heal itself. When we cut ourselves and the skin slowly patches back together, this machine does the same thing. It's made of soft material like real skin. And when it gets torn or punctured, it senses the damage and then starts a repair process by itself. This could totally change how we use robots. Imagine search and rescue missions that can move through rubble or extreme environments, get scratched up, and keep going because they heal. It's kind of wild, right? Machines that aren't just built to survive but to recover, adapt, and maybe even feel a little more alive. Do you think this is a cool innovation, or are we just getting a little too close to sci-fi? A woman was hiking when she spotted something unusual in the valley below. In the water, she observed a humanoid figure, but its bottom half resembled a fish. She believes it could be a mermaid. The creature's form seemed to align with traditional depictions of mermaids, blending human and aquatic features. However, the video remains unclear and many are debating its authenticity. While some see this as possible evidence of mythical sea creatures, others argue it might have been a misidentified animal, such as a seal or a manatee, or even an elaborate hoax. What are your thoughts? What do you reckon this is? Before you say leaf, take a closer look. It appears to have legs and is moving on the thumb of the individual filming. Shocked by the sight of this creature, he recorded it and then uploaded it asking for answers. Here's the thing though, our paranormal community has all kinds of people, including science whizzes like Julius, yet no one could identify what this is. I tried using AI and Google to get answers, yet even they couldn't help me. Does this mean this clip is fabricated, or are we dealing with something new? Something no one has heard of or seen before? I think I will let you guys answer this one. If you know what it is, kindly help us out in the comments section. They might be screaming, shouting, and shaking, but they're not demon-possessed, or so the story goes. This is the world of @90 Breathwork, a breathwork app that charges an insane $97 a month or $619 a year just to guide you through something humans have done naturally since, well, forever: breathing. But this isn't just expensive, it's starting to feel like something a little bit more unsettling. People aren't just breathing and relaxing, they're entering altered emotional states, crying, shaking, breaking down, and then, boom, they're being recorded. Their rawest, most vulnerable moments turned into content for marketing. What kind of healing space does that? Even more bizarre, some users claim they're hearing subliminal whispers in the background, like there's more being said than meets the ear. Sounds like a conspiracy? Yeah, maybe, but maybe not. Because let's be real, when you combine technology, vulnerable minds, and hidden messages, you're not just selling wellness anymore, you're programming people. This app is literally guiding users in a trance-like states and then feeding them who knows what. Messages you can't consciously hear, but your brain still picks up. That's not healing, that's psychological conditioning. At this point, would anyone really be shocked if this kind of tech was being backed or at least quietly observed by governments or elites? I mean, what better way to influence people than through something dressed up as self-care? It's the perfect cover. People think they're healing, but what if they're actually being rewired? Think about it. You're emotional, cracked open, walls down, and someone else is in control of what's going on in your subconscious. That's not just creepy, that's dangerous. So no, they're not possessed, but someone is playing God, and if you ask me, it smells less like incense and more like control. The ocean remains one of the most mysterious places on Earth, filled with secrets that continue to baffle even the most seasoned explorers. This footage shared online recently adds yet another layer of intrigue to the deep sea's countless mysteries. Captured by a deep-sea camera, you can see a massive creature swimming by, and the sheer size alone is enough to leave you in awe. Its head has a striking resemblance to that of a crocodile, long with sharp, menacing teeth. At first glance, it's hard to believe something like this could still exist in our oceans today. However, after some research, it was identified as a Mosasaurus. Yes, a Mosasaurus. The giant marine reptile was believed to have gone extinct over 66 million years ago, but here it is, seemingly alive and swimming.
This creature was a dominant predator during the late Cretaceous period, and its size and power rivaled that of modern sharks. So is this creature truly no longer extinct, or is this just edited footage? The concept of a matrix glitch often emerges when people encounter inexplicable or seemingly contradictory situations that challenge our understanding of reality. Take a look at this footage, for instance. A man is swinging in a chair, his arm seemingly hooked into the chair's arm. However, as soon as he stands up, his hand is magically out of the chair's hook. This is what people consider a glitch in the Matrix. Although skeptics may think that it could be a trick of perspective, many in the paranormal community think we're looking at a modern glitch. Having seen it, what do you think it is? A woman woke up in the middle of the night to get water from the fridge, only to freeze in terror because she saw this. There, halfway down the staircase, was a humanoid figure just standing there facing her. She was so shocked, at first she thought her mind was playing tricks on her. Maybe it was just the dark, or she was still half asleep. But when she snapped the picture, what she saw confirmed it. There was definitely something there. It had a full humanoid shape, faint but visible in the darkness. She said the house had never had any activity like this before, so you can imagine how horrified she was. Now, some people believe it could have been a ghost, others think it might have been a type of entity that's been there all along, but just never revealed itself until now. If this was the first time she saw it, how many nights had it already been standing there, just watching? Someone was walking along the beach when they spotted something odd half buried in the sand with a small pool of water around it. It was a face. Yeah, a face. 2 bulging eyes, a wide mouth, and this unsettling stillness like it was watching. Of course, some people were quick to call it paranormal. I mean, wouldn't you? A creepy face staring at you from the sand isn't exactly a normal day at the beach, but as strange as it looks, there's actually nothing supernatural about it. That thing is called a stargazer fish, and trust me, it's not something you want to mess with. Stargazers are ambush predators. They bury themselves in the sand with only their eyes and mouth sticking out, lying perfectly still as they wait for prey to come near. When something swims or crawls up enough, it launches upward and swallows it whole. But that's not all. Some species of stargazers are also venomous, and others can even deliver electric shocks like actual jolts of electricity to stun their prey or defend themselves. So no, this isn't a demon from the sea, but it is a terrifying little reminder of just how weird and wild nature can be. And next time you're walking barefoot by the water, keep an eye out for those guys. A cave explorer was out in a newly discovered cave in Arizona when he saw something incredibly strange. It was a humanoid figure standing at the mouth of another cave within the cave. The body of the figure was dark, almost as if it was wearing a bodysuit, but the entire head was glowing. As the explorer watched in shock, the figure stepped out of the cave and began tilting its neck as if observing him from afar. The eerie movements and the glowing head unsettled him so much that he immediately left. He didn't wait to find out who or what it was. Some believe this could be a bioluminescent alien-like creature, while skeptics argue that it was just another cave explorer wearing a headlamp or helmet with a bright light. What do you think? What you're looking at is current-day Detroit. An alleged serious flood recently took place there. According to the individual reporting, what makes this situation even more extreme is that after the flooding, the cold weather caused everything to freeze over, turning the entire area into a frozen wasteland. As you can see, cars are trapped in ice with frozen flood water reaching halfway up to their windows, leaving vehicles and streets completely encased. When I saw this, it gave me chills, literally. But after doing some research, I must say I'm glad that I did. As bad as this looks, it turns out it was just one block that had a water main break. The clip was taken from the lower part of the city where the water was sitting still. Combine that with the freezing temperatures and you have this. So while it's not impending doom, at least we know the situation can be controlled compared to it being a flood or something like that. Someone spotted something strange hanging just above the trees. It was this shiny object suspended silently between the treetops. It didn't look like a drone, and it definitely wasn't shaped like any aircraft most people are familiar with. Some say it looked like light frozen in mid-air. Others believe it might have been a cloaked craft or a piece of technology not from this world. The footage has been shared online, and while some call it fake, others are convinced it's something more. What do you think it was? This was uploaded by a group of friends exploring the great outdoors. According to them, they were just moving around when they noticed something on one of the branches from the distance. Thinking it was an animal they hadn't seen before, they got closer, only to realize that it might be a person. What's more, the person did look like one of them, and that's not normal. One of the guys in the group is heard calling the name of the person they suspected he might be. The human, however, does not respond, instead drops to the ground like an animal and keeps looking around. It's almost like he had been possessed. As interesting as that was, they soon realized the man was not the only one there. There is something or someone else with them. Many suspect this is nothing more than a skinwalker with a bewitched victim. I've watched the clip over and over, and I can't help but notice that the man is trying to prevent himself from laughing. Well, if that's correct, then the clip was staged. Either that or Julius is starting to rub off on me.
Bakeries, cookie places, all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some of your favorite foods, but they just molded and old. Got a bunch of rats and stuff in them. Yep, they all going in here. Up the line to the grinder.
Bacon, pork chops, carnitas tacos, roast pork, and Japanese tonkatsu. What do these meals have in common? If you said pork, you'd be right. While not everyone enjoys these due to the religious or personal reasons, there are millions who enjoy it daily. This is what makes what this man shared very disturbing. He worked at an animal feed processing plant, and after just a few days on the job, he noticed that the pig feed was made from waste, including rubber, boxes, plastic, and expired food still in its packaging. Everything was ground into a powder and sold to farmers to feed their pigs, the same pigs that are slaughtered and served to us as pork in our various meals. I'm no health inspector, but that doesn't seem hygienic at all, especially if humans are eating them too. Shockingly, after exposing what he had seen, the man lost his job. The company tried to cover it up, but the damage was done. Now, while plastic and other harmful materials are not legally allowed in animal feed, we all know that some people cut corners to save costs at the expense of public health. These toxic chemicals harm the pigs and in turn harm us when we eat them. This fisherman was on his way to fish when he stumbled upon something shocking deep in the forest near the river he was heading to. Lying on the ground was a massive shed snakeskin. It's long and thick and stretches far. The sheer size of the skin suggested that the snake that left it behind was enormous, possibly one of the biggest ever recorded. I wonder what kind of snake could have shed this. Some believe it could belong to a giant anaconda or a massive python, both of which are known to reach incredible lengths. If that's the case, this could be one of the largest snake skins ever discovered. No one would have believed her if she hadn't captured it on video. A woman was in the ER waiting to be seen. To pass the time, she decided to take some photos of herself. But then, as the camera panned the room, she caught this. Across the room, someone or something was standing over another patient. It was tall, dark, humanoid in shape, but completely blacked out, standing motionless over a sleeping patient. It didn't move or look around, it just stood there watching. She was so shaken that she stayed awake the entire night. She was discharged the next day, but the fear followed her home. When she told her family what she saw, she believes she had just seen the Grim Reaper. She was in the emergency room after all. Anything could happen there. Life and death cross paths every day. So what was that shadowy figure? This strange sighting just came out of Ibiza, Spain, and it's got people talking. The video was taken in May 2025 by a local man who lives near a meadow surrounded by hills. He said he noticed a shiny object in the sky, and it was glimmering just above the hilltops, then suddenly vanished behind one. So he decided to grab his phone and get a closer look. Now here's the thing. The object didn't look like something falling from the sky. It wasn't tumbling or spinning like debris or a meteor. Instead, it moved slowly and deliberately, like it was aware of its path. It looked too intentional and calculated. That's why some are saying this could be more than just a random object, but possibly an actual unidentified flying craft. It didn't behave like a drone, it didn't match the speed or shape of a plane. So could this be yet another piece of the ever-growing UFO mystery? A man came across a dog seemingly frozen mid-run in the middle of a vast empty field. There was no one around, and the dog's tail stood upright while its body trembled slightly. Even its paws remained in place as if it had been stopped by an invisible force. Was the dog so terrified by something that it froze in shock, or is this some kind of glitch? Well, some paranormal communities were quick to call the pup a Skinwalker, but I don't know about this one. There are some species of dogs that pause and point like this dog is doing to bring something to the attention of its owner or parent, like this generation likes to refer to themselves as. Looking at this, and given the fact that they're in the woods, I'm tempted to believe that that's what's going on here, but I'm no animal expert. Can anyone confirm this, or if you have a different theory, please don't hesitate to share. Moving on to something a bit more digital and technological in nature, AI has made another advancement. This is basically a daily thing now, but this advancement and discovery is a big deal. Scientists have found that artificial intelligence can now tell whether a person is male or female by looking at a single image of their eye with up to 90% accuracy. They explained that the AI was trained using more than 84,000 eye images and was able to spot small differences that doctors couldn't see. This discovery shows that AI can reveal hidden patterns in the human body, which could help improve medical research and detect eye diseases more accurately. The researchers also shared that the AI system was highly accurate, correctly identifying a person's sex in most cases. They said the AI works by noticing tiny details in the eye that aren't visible to the human eye, making it a powerful tool for future healthcare. This ability to find patterns could help doctors discover new ways to diagnose and treat health problems, showing the growing importance of AI in medicine. So, yeah, this is one of those good AI advancements, but it could also be weaponized. Either way, think happy and positive thoughts. Then hope that's all there will be to this.
Now, this next clip had me at the first half. You know what? I'm just gonna watch it again with you, and you tell me.
What is it? What? What? Is that? What is it?
Tell me!
What are you talking about?
Oh my god!
Hold on. Shh. What is it? No, it's Papa.
Yo.
He was here.
What?
This is really bad acting
I'm
now.
not kidding.
Dude, relax, dude.
Really
We're
bad
at a hotel,
acting.
there's security and stuff. Chill
I'm
out.
not even gonna
Why are you
watch
crying?
anymore.
No.
Stupid. You know, I personally don't even think that's AI. I think that's someone that's just got like a mannequin head or something on a stick in a hoodie. And they're just, you know, I mean, come on. Come on. If you're gonna do your 5 minutes of fame, at least do something that looks at least a little bit real. For me.
What is it?
Someone just tell me!
What are you talking about?
With that, we end today's episode. Thank you very much for staying with us. Now, for those of you who've seen this channel before, you know what I'm going to ask you. Give us your little presents. We want them. And by presents, I mean your little videos, your little clips, anything that you find. Send it to us because we want it and we want to put it on this channel. Yes, we do. And if you want, we'll mention you as well. You know, give you a bit of credit. Let the people out there know that we got helpers. We got little helpers all around the world that's sending us stuff because that's what we want. Thank you. And do me a favor, share this. Share this with as many people as you can. All right. I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures, and I will see you on the next one.